Hi, budding hackers. Hope you're doing all right. So, welcome to the Hands-on Ethical Hacking course by Tutored Academy. I'm your instructor, Akshat. And I will be taking you through the journey of becoming an ethical hacker without knowing anything from the start. So, before we begin, I give you a very warm welcome, and I would like to tell you what are the things that we'll be covering. So, first, I'll be having this introductory video where I'll talk about myself and a little bit about what ethical hacking is, why you should learn it, or why you need to learn it. Now, if you have any doubts or if you want to ask anything, you can always reach me out. I'll tell you how to reach me out as we move on. Well, before that, welcome to the course. I hope you become a great hacker, and even if you don't want to, I believe it's a great learning opportunity for anyone who wants to start a career into cybersecurity, information security field, or just get their feet wet with ethical hacking. This is a very good course, and I believe I explain everything for beginners, which makes them feel good. So, before we move on, who am I? Well, my name is Akshat. I am an information security researcher, a certified ethical hacker, a CTF player, a Linux enthusiast, a sci-fi movie fanatic, and a gamer at night. Well, gamer at night sometimes when my friends are online. Now, if you want to know more about me or you want to reach me, you can always find me at my own website, brownboy.tech. So, why this course? You may have seen multiple courses floating around the internet about ethical hacking. Well, then, why should you care about this course? Well, I won't talk about myself too much here, but the one thing that I have to redeem myself here is my methodology. Now, I like to call that methodology the ELI 5 methodology, and I believe myself to be an ELI 5 instructor. Well, what do I mean by ELI 5? ELI 5 is an acronym which basically stands for Explain Like I'm 5. So, you can be rest assured that anything or everything that can be explained in this course will be explained to you like you're a beginner. So it does not matter if you're just getting started into the ethical hacking field or you have some experience with it or you are an advanced person. I will be explaining everything from thorough detail from the start. Even if you jump back into this course after some time or you take a break, you know what I'm talking about and you can always feel confident about what you're doing with me. Instead, the another thing that I would like to talk about is I will be using practicality instead of just reading or sharing PDFs. The more expensive courses you must have seen online tend to share such good amount of theory knowledge that it does not, get easier for you to learn. We humans are experienced learners. We learn things by doing them on their own, not by reading them, all right, or maybe listening to them. So that is why this course contains a good mix of everything. I have some text material, I have some audio-visual material, which are these videos, and I also have things for you to do in the end of this course. So now you can get a hands-on experience about everything and anything. Now, the thing that I will be discussing after that is your tools. So, what am I talking about tools? Well, every good hacker has a good amount of tools in their arsenal. Why do they need to learn their tools? Why do they need to know their tools? Well, if you look at a carpenter or if you look at an experienced electrician, you can see that they have a big toolbox with different kinds of tool in them and they know where and when to use each and every tool, because they have practiced and developed their craft. A carpenter or electrician is nothing without their tools, but also subsequently their tools are nothing without them. You don't know how to perfectly use a hammer and the carpenter does not know what to do in woodwork without a hammer. So now you can see these tools play a crucial part in developing any skills. And just like those skills, even in ethical hacking, you need to be very sure and well versed within your tool set. So, as an ethical hacker, as you start gaining experience and you start learning about things, you tend to gather a skill set of tools or a subset of tools with you. You create your own virtual toolbox in which you have different tools with you, and you need to be well versed within those tools. In this course, I will be explaining you the basic usage of the most common tools that every hacker should know about, so that you feel comfortable with them and you don't feel lost when you're trying to do hacking. And after that, once you start learning and once you start gaining experience, you will start to gather your own tools and start working with them on your own. This course creates a basic foundation on how to use those tools. After that, I will be talking about the hacker mindset. Well, we'll talk about it in detail in soon enough, but I want you to start thinking like a hacker, and this course can help you do that. Most people think about how to make things and how to make them look pretty. Well, we hackers, we tend to think, upside down to the whole world. We need to think outside the box. We need to think how the things were made so that we can break them to our benefit. That is what a hacker's job is. If you have realized on a fundamental level, all what hackers do is reverse software programming. If a programmer codes something to create something, we reverse that code to break something. That is all we do. instead, you can also call us software programmers because we write code to break someone else's code. So that is what hackers do. Now, if you have seen yourself around, most people would be pursuing software degrees or software programming technologies, and you must have seen a lot of developers around you. You create different types of applications, different kinds of websites. We have a good amount of programmers in the world. I'm not saying they are overcrowded, but you get what I'm saying. I'm saying that most people know how to build stuff, but there are very few people who can know how to break that. And there are even fewer people who know how to break it and then do it ethically and help the person make it secure. Who made it? All right. Now, there are different types of hackers. Most break the stuff and they use it to their advantage. They use this knowledge to their advantage to gain financial or other profits. There are even less people who know how to break things, and then help the creator fix those things. All right. So now I would like to talk about going from zero to hero. Well, now you're going to start from a level where you don't know anything. I will be assuming that you know zero or nothing about hacking. And by the end of this course, I promise you will know so many things about ethical hacking that you will feel confident in talking about it. You will learn to see the inner workings of operating systems. You will learn how networks work, how Wi-Fi's work, how to gather passwords, how websites work, everything and anything. You will start to look at things in a new way, from the hacker classes, I mean. So, what is hacking? Well, I feel like I have convinced you enough that you have to learn it. And now, according to Wikipedia, the definition goes that it's an advanced computer technology enthusiast. Quite a mouthful, if I may say so myself. An adherent of programming culture. To be honest, I don't even understand half of those words, and you don't need to. Because if you want to become a hacker, you don't need to go through Wikipedia and learn the definition, all right? But if you go down in the second point, it comes real close to what we're trying to do in this course. It goes through something like someone who is able to subvert computer security. Now that sounds really like us. Yeah. So that will be our whole agenda in this course. That will be our whole aim in this course. And that is what I want you to learn from this course. Our course, our agenda, our aim is to break things, breaks their security, get inside them. But if you see the definition isn't really clear here and I don't like to really use it. Well then, what is the definition of a hacker? Well, according to me, personally, a hacker is someone who just has fun breaking stuff and then learning how it works. That is what a hacker is. And I believe if you ask a good hacker, they would agree with this definition. All we are doing is breaking stuff, figuring out how it works, and then realizing how it breaks. Maybe if you are a white hat hacker, which I hope you will be after this course, and if you don't know what a white hat hacker means, just be patient, I'll be getting to that. But now what a hacker does is just it figures out how things work, and then we break them, and then if you are on the good side of the law, we can help the creator of the object fix it. So, for example, if you were a car quality testing assurance engineer, well, you would get cars which were created by the companies and you would crash them in different scenarios, and then you will help the companies make their cars safer and stronger. That is what a car safety quality assurance person can do. Or if you're a lock picker, well, you can always help, companies which create new locks to help them secure their locks. They'll give you their locks and you can tell them by picking their locks that, hey, your lock is weak here or your lock weak is from this side. And then they can build safer locks for everyone. Now, you get paid to break things and they will pay you so that they can make their things safer. It's a win-win for everyone. So now, I feel like I've already talked enough, but before we begin, I feel I should do some theory introductions with you, just for, traditional purposes. As every course begins with, I believe I should too. Just in case anyone's not aware of it, if you think you know about these things, feel free to skip through. But I really strongly recommend sitting through these and learning and listening to me. Who knows, maybe you just might learn something new. And after this theory section, I promise to get real started soon with the practical hacking hands-on course, and we can start into the nitty-gritty of ethical hacking. So now, after this theory, we'll be getting into the practical ethical hacking section. Now let's get to the last theory section of this course so that I can clear things up, get the traditional stuff out of the way, and then we can get to practical hacking with our hands in the, we can get our hands dirty into the hacking. So generally, let's talk about the types of hackers because you must have seen this everywhere, but I will be going through these briefly so that for anyone who does not know the difference, knows the difference between these three hacks. So generally, Hackers are divided into three categories or three hats according to which they want to wear. There are black hat people. If you want to get an example of black hat people, it's the anonymous group or the lulsec group. If you ever heard of it, the people who pirate stuff, you may call these people black hats. The reason that they do their things is to break stuff, cause harm to corporations or people, get money, use ransoms, etc., etc. The list goes on. Now you understand with a basic definition what black hat hackers are. They do everything illegally without permission to gain their own benefit. Then there are the gray hat hackers in the middle between black hats and white hats. Now, if you know what black hats do, you might have guessed what white hats do. It's counter-interactive to understand. But what is in between white and black? Well, there is gray hat hackers. So they do not have any malicious intent, but they do not also necessarily seek permissions from the owners of the things they're about to hack. So this is what puts them in between the black hats and the white hats. They do not want to harm people, but they also don't have most of the clean hearts. The agenda might not be to help secure the company, but then again they also do not seek any profit or cause damage to anyone. Now, to get an example of this, you must have heard about the payment service MobiKwik, which recently got its data breached. Now, the data was put on public websites so that people can see that the data was breached, and now MobiKwik was pressured into making that data secure. Now, there were two ways to go about this. If you were a law-abiding citizen, you can help MobiKwik secure this by telling them about it and not exploiting it so that they can fix it in time. But if you're a grey hat hacker, you don't really care about the laws, do you? So what you do is, you leak everyone's data, but you don't seek any financial return from it. You could get that data and sell it and then gain money, but instead you want MobiKwik to be serious about the data security policies, so you leak that data online publicly for everyone. Now what happens is everyone gets access to that data, so it's not very valuable because everyone has access to it. But now MobiKwik is forced to react on this action. The government knows about it, the people know about it, and now MobiKwik needs to work on the security quickly and fix it. So now, the grey hat did not earn anything financially from this, but they made MobiKwik fix their policy. Now, let's go to the white hat hacker. Now, white hat hacker, they are also called ethical hackers, but I don't like to put ethical in front of hackers. But to let everyone understand, I'll just use it for this course, ethical hackers. Well, who are ethical hackers? Well, they also hack stuff and they also get paid. But simply, we only have to follow one rule: do everything with permission. I know. Taking permissions and following the orders does not sound very cool, but trust me, white hat hacking is the best. You get to hack people with their permission or their things, and then you can also get paid for it. And the fun part begins when you help the creators help fix their stuff. And now, once they have fixed their stuff, now you get even a harder target to hack. And now you even have to, play more into it. And now this becomes a cat and mouse game and you start to enjoy it. But the fun part is you're getting paid every time and you get respect and you get to meet cool people. That is why I believe white hat hacking is the best kind of hacking. Now that I've convinced you enough why to become a white hat hacker or an ethical hacker, you can use those terms interchangeably, by the way. Ethical hacker is the same as someone who is wearing a white hat in the hacking industry. Now, white hat hacker or hacker for the rest of the... Now, white hat hacker stands for... white hat hacker stands for hacker for the duration of this course moving on. So whenever I talk about the word hacker, what I mean by is white hat hacker. Now, in this course, we'll be only doing white hat hacking and ethical hacking, not something gray hat or not something black hat. So, what are you going to do as an ethical hacker? Well, as an ethical hacker, you will be working with organizations and companies to help fortify and secure their systems. Simple as that. A company will hire you to hack into their networks. You will hack anything and everything that you can see, provided that you are provided the permission to hack it. And after all the hacking is done, anywhere you can hack or anywhere you can breach it, you're supposed to create a report. A report details everything that you did, how you broke stuff, why you broke it, why you think it's not necessary to fix it, or why it is necessary to fix it. That is called report making. An ethical hacker's job also involves critical report making. You cannot only just break stuff, you also have to explain to the owners of the stuff how you broke it so that they can fix it. And now their systems will be secure. If you just break stuff and have fun around, then how will they know how to fix it? You may also get hired to make security policies for organizations. For example, if I am a company and I want to secure and I've been hacked recently and I've just recovered for it, so I might hire someone who is into security policies and tell them to take a look at my whole company, take a look at my whole network and tell me, Where should I fortify myself? Where should I put my hard walls? Where should I put the firewalls? Where should I secure my data? Or how many times should I take a backup? Or what security software should I use? Then, if you are into the security management job, you may be assigned the responsibility of making the security policies for a company. An ethical hacker's job may also involve sometimes getting in touch with other departments of an organization, like management, PR relations, or HR, because hacking has so many avenues and it is related to every part of the life that you may need to get in touch with every group of the organization. So now, before we start, I would like to discuss the course contents that we have. Well, in the first section, there is lab setup and configuration. At first, we'll be setting up an ethical hacking machine in which we will have all the tools that we need to start hacking with. In the next section, I'll be talking about the 5 stages of hacking. It is also called the hacking mantra, as every ethical hacker has to follow these to create a successful hack. Then we will talk about networking and learn about it and also learn network hacking. Then we will move on to wireless networks and how they work. Then we move on to wireless network hacking or Wi-Fi hacking, as they say. Quite juicy if I may say so myself. I love this section. Then we move on to system exploitation, and then we have post exploitation, hashing, website hacking concepts. Then we also have web app hacking, and then we finally get to our live CTF. You may think that this is all too much, but trust me, we'll be going through this course slowly and you're free to learn at your own pace. But these are the essential things that you need to learn before becoming an ethical hacker. No problem if you don't understand any of this right now. I just want you to get familiar with these terms like hashing, exploitation, wireless hacking, etc. Soon you will start speaking the hacker language, as they say. Now, thank you for being a part of this journey, and I will see you in the next section in which we'll be setting up our virtual Linux machine, or also known as our hacking machine. So, thank you and see you in the next section.